Hey everyone, welcome to Heavy Metal Guns and Outdoors. Today we're doing a requested video. Doug asked if we would do one of these Marlin 60s, a complete breakdown and a deep clean and reassembly, and basically just learn about all the inners of it. I chose this one that I had. This is the Marlin 60 in stainless steel. It is a cool old rifle. I just really enjoy these things, and for what they are, they run very well. Now if you'll notice, the sight adjuster is missing on this. That's why I chose this rifle. That was very common on these old rifles. By the time you ended up with a used one, that was already lost. So what I'm going to do is this video is going to be in two parts. Part one, we'll take her apart, go through everything, do a real good clean and oil and a reassembly. And then part two, we're going to make us a sight adjuster that's going to stay in there, and hopefully one that won't get lost. And then we'll get it sighted in and we'll test fire. Right, first things first, make sure that firearm is unloaded. And it is. Go ahead and take our tube out. Yep. No bullets in there. Good deal. And now, you notice there's a large screw on the bottom. Go ahead and take that one out. Well, that wasn't even really that tight. Close this one. Now, we'll take this Phillips head screw out. Now go back to your flat. And take this rear screw out, not this front screw. Then she comes apart. The reason why I said do not take that front screw out, because you don't need to. All it's doing is holding this trigger housing and just the trigger itself. See the little indented nut down in there that holds it. There's no reason to take that apart. And if you did while it was together, you'd probably end up losing that. And you definitely don't want to do that. Alright, let's go ahead and just set the stock over here out of the way. Here we have our inner workings. Yeah, that thing's pretty dirty. Now, y'all see this back here? That looks like a screw. It's not a screw. Alright, that just simply pushes out. Just a plastic insert. Once you get that pushed out, raise it up. It's raised up. See how this is notched down in here? You just pull her apart. There's the inner workings. Set them over here. Alright. Now next, we want to get our slide assembly out. See that spring right down in there? We'll get that loose next. Take your needle nose Get right down in there. That will come right out. Then just take your slide assembly and pick it up and out. And as you see, your handle will fall right out because it's basically trapped in there. Alright, there you go, guys. That's pretty much taking it down to the bare bones. I mean, if you wanted to, you could knock this pin right here out. That's retaining the barrel. And you could take your tube assembly off. But I mean, there's really no reason to. Alright, now that we've got everything apart, we're going to get some hops on her and let her soak for a little bit. Let's open up our hops. That's a clean rag. Try to keep some of this off of her hands if we can. And again, I highly suggest that you wear gloves when you do this. Alright, got my pipe soaked down good. Definitely want to get that lid on, don't want to knock it over. Alright, now first, just run the patch down your barrel. Get that hops down in there really well. You know me, I'll run it through the other side, spin it around so it gets the face of the barrel. Alright. Let that sit and soak a little bit. Take this rag with the hops on it. And this stuff really does do well on cleaning and breaking up stuff, especially powder residue. And as you can see, the front here, the bolt face, pretty nasty. Get some of that on there the best that you can. Getting aggravating trying to use that. So don't suggest you get it on your hands, but I will. Alright, let that soak a little bit. Down in our works. Which really you don't need to use hops down in here. But I've got it on the rag, so just a little extra cleaning, that's for sure. Alright. On all of your assembly here, there's no use taking all that apart. I mean, you can. I call it the loading block. It comes out that pin and that pin. Take it out if you need to. And everything else will come out. See, they have little E-clips on the pins. E-clip there, 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 and back there. But like I say, there's really no need to take this out. One thing, when you're cleaning this style of rifle, the Marlin or the Glenfield 60, a piece of wire right there, that's your ejector. Make sure it goes back in there where it's supposed to be. If you do happen to take all of it apart, don't bend it, don't modify it. Just let it be as is so it'll work properly. Alright, now let's get that cleaned up really well. Rag down here. And I'm just going to take our general lubricant and be quite liberal with it, of course. Don't skimp on your stuff. I'd rather use a little too much than not enough, that's for sure. Especially when it comes to cleaning. Alright, get your handy dandy brush. Just go to work. Alright, that don't look too bad at all. I think we've done a good job cleaning that. Now, bolt assembly, same thing. Use some lubricant on it. And there's a lot of cleaning products out there, guys. Y'all pick what works best for you and what you like. As for me, I use pretty much whatever's available. And it's cost efficient because I do so many and so much. And I'm open to any new products or ideas. Be happy to try them out and see what they're made of, that's for sure. Yeah, that bolt face is pretty filthy. Make sure we definitely get down in there really, really well. There's no trash down there in our firing pin. That is your firing pin right down through there. I think we got that pretty clean. Now our hops has been soaking in our barrel. As you know, with 22s, barrels get really nasty, so that hop's still in there soaking. I'm going to take my brass brush, give her a little scrub. I think that's plenty. Go ahead and grab my lubricant. Go a little down the barrel. And I'll go ahead and put some down the loading tube also. I want that to soak down in there for a little bit. Let's go ahead and get the down here looks really clean. We're going to go ahead and clean it. We're going to get the face of the barrel real good and clean. So we'll go ahead and a little more of this in there. Grab my brush and get busy. I want it clean, clean. Get this outside and crap that's on there, we'll be able to get off. Soft bristle brush will not hurt that stainless money at all, that's for sure. Alright. Got that. And we made a mess. We've got messy rag over there. Here's a clean one here. Now, grab our brake clean. Let's blast these parts really well. Another rag down here. Don't want to get anything on our already clean parts, that's for sure. Alright, now let's grab our air hose and dry this all out really well. Take the rag to it first, get all the big stuff off. Alright, everything is good and clean. And we'll get it all nice and dry. So now it's time to oil everything and reassemble. Alright, first thing I want to do is grab my hops and key pivot points in here. Go ahead and get some of that down in there really well. When I say key pivot points, I say that all the time. Pretty much any place the two pieces of metal are touching, or a pivot point. That's what I consider a key point. The smoother it operates, the better it's going to operate. Alright, and then the blast. Alright, we got that very well. Now we're going to put some hops down in there. We'll drop in there. That's where our recoil spring will go into. Definitely down in there in our injectors. We want all this to work properly. And then right down our iron pin in our main places. And of course, hit the whole thing with a little spray. Some of y'all say that may be redundant. Gotta sit there and put the hops oil on there and then the spray. This spray is actually really thin oil, where the hops, none, is a lot thicker. So I get the thicker oil on the moving parts, more or less, and then the rim oil just coats over everything. That's just basically like a sliding part, let's say. But a part that pivots, I like to get a little bit of that hops on there first. And yeah, I may be wasting a little oil in some people's eyes, but I mean, this is just how I do it. You know, each to their own. And like I say, y'all know I'm always open for any suggestions that somebody has. A better way to do something, better product, what have you. If you know something more than I do, please throw it at me. Because knowledge is something that I'll take all day long. Alright. Now we've got everything cleaned up. I think we've got enough lube on it. And here's the way that I reassemble them. Go ahead and grab my handle. Just set it in there. That way I know I captured just right. Okay, got it. So I just set the handle down in there and then set the receiver in and wiggle it around till I know I got my handle in there correctly. Alright, now for our recoil spring. A little bit of the number 9 on that. And I showed y'all earlier that hole that it went into. If you see, I'm just sliding it down in there. Grab it at the end here with my needle nose again. Seems to be the easiest way, at least for me, to do it. And it's a little hard to get it guide back in there. I guarantee you that. It won't be as simple as it was taking it out. Just got to fiddle with it. And you will end up getting it in there. Just like so. Alright, well, we got everything lubed up, that's a fact. Everything's good and clean. Like I say, a lot of people don't deal with these old rifles. They think they're just too hard to deal with or fool with. And as you can see, this is, I mean, fairly easy to disassemble and assemble. It's really not a big deal. Now, run that back down in there. See, these two teeth here, just go right under. Everything pushes right back in place. Take your little plastic. Just push it in there. That's it. That is relatively a nice, easy design. Not too bad at all. Alright. Go ahead and grab our stop. The only thing I want to do, we do have our trigger down in here. Do want to give me a little hops down there on that pivot and on that spring. And I did put a little on top of the trigger where it drags at. Alright, good deal. Alright, now let's just set our stock back on. And when you're setting your stock on, notice that slot right there. That's where this comes through. Get her slid back on there. That first screw started well. Second one, I like to sort of snug them up and then go back and evenly tighten them the best I can. Alright, now our Phillips head screw that was in our stock. Long-winded one. There you have it. Set these back. We will do a quick function test. Make sure it's all working the way that it's supposed to. And seeing if somebody over oiled, we need to wipe off a lot of this oil. I've got her all wiped down. We got our tube here. All I'm going to do with the tube, I want to press that spring some. Just try to get some oil to run down in it. No rocket science, nothing like that. Just want to get a little oil run down in her. Alright, let's install our tube. We'll see how she cycles. Safety works. Chambers. Fire pin clicks. Well, that's all you can ask for. Alright guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this one up so it don't get stretched way on out there. I know some of the videos, especially when I'm out here gunsmithing, tends to get long. That's why I decided to make this one into two parts. So the next part, what we're going to do is make our piece for our sight and get this thing sighted in and do some test shooting with it. Everyone, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. I mean, just because it's an older rifle, they're still really cool, and they're still actually great firearms. And they're not that much trouble to take apart and clean, as you just seen there. If you would, please leave me any comments that you have, any suggestions. They're all greatly appreciated. And any questions, I'm happy to get to them when I can. And for those of y'all that are able, please hit us up on our Patreon page and show some support there. And if you would, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank y'all very much. and have a fantastic day.